Hello, welcome everyone. My name is Megan. Today we will be practicing a Rocket 3 flow. While I may be guiding us through this flow, you are still the leader. Please honor your body. If a cue I'm giving doesn't feel good, don't do it. Every body is different and what feels good for one may not for another. All props are welcome. I do recommend having 2 blocks close by as we will be using them in a few of the poses. Let's all meet on our mats, feet towards the top edge, lying down on the back. Knees are bent, either falling in towards each other, or you can bring the soles of the feet together, allowing the knees to fall open for reclined bound angle, Supta Baddha Konasana. Gazing up at the sky, or feel free to close the eyes here. Bringing one hand to the belly, place the other hand to your chest. Focusing on the 6th limb of yoga, dharana, or mindfulness, start to become aware of the breath. On an inhale, fill the belly with air, letting it rise. And exhale, release. 2 more deep belly breaths just like this. Inhale, filling the belly with air. And exhale. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale. On the next inhale, send the breath into the chest, allowing it to rise. Exhale. 2 more like this. We'll take them in silence. Once you've taken 3 breaths into the chest, begin to alternate between deep belly breaths and breathing into the chest. In this space, let's take a moment to honor yoga's roots, giving thanks to all those who have practiced and taught before us so that we can benefit today. Specifically, the indigenous practitioners from India, South Asia, and Africa who have passed this spiritual knowledge on to us. Let's also take a moment to set an intention, whether it be just for this flow or maybe for the day. Feel free to set your own or join me in setting the intention to practice non-attachment or parigraha, one of the 5 ethical codes from the 1st limb of yoga, the yama. Let go of expectations and accept where you are in this present moment. Everything is temporary, and from this we find freedom. If the knees are open, guide them back up with the hands, opening the eyes. Reach the arms up overhead for a stretch. Draw the knees into the chest, giving them a big squeeze. Grab the backs of the thighs, begin to rock forward and backward, eventually making our way all the way up onto all fours for a tabletop pose, Varmanasana. Hands are shoulder width distance, knees, hips width distance, spine is neutral. Let's begin to rock forward and backward, warming up the wrists. Spin the hands so the fingers face the long edge of the mat and rock side to side. Bringing the hands back to center. Spin the right hand so the fingers face the knees. Bend the elbow and pull it in, getting a nice stretch into the inside of the forearm here. Fingers will stay facing the knees, but flip the hand so the top of the hand is on the mat, getting a nice stretch into the top of the forearm here. Switching sides, left hand, fingers spin towards the knees, bending the elbow, stretching the inside of the forearm. Flipping the hand, top comes down to the mat, stretching into the top of the forearm here. Bring hands back to center. And slowly peel the palms off of the mat, lifting the wrists over the knuckles. Slowly release it back down. Let's do this again. Lifting the palms off of the mat, trying the best as we can to stack the wrists over the knuckles. Release it back down. One more. We'll come into some cat and cow. On an inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze for cow. On an exhale, round the spine, pushing into the mat, tucking the chin for cat pose. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Make sure to pull out of the low back here. We want to stretch through the front side of the body. Exhale, round the spine, tuck the chin. One more, inhale. Exhale. On the inhale, bring the spine to neutral. Hips will stay stacked over the knees as we crawl our hands forward, dropping the chest toward the mat for puppy pose. Be mindful of the low back here. Tuck the tailbone. We're targeting the upper back with this stretch. We really want to get into the underarms and the shoulders. One more breath here. Inhale, bend the elbows. Slide forward onto the belly, coming into Sphinx pose. Walk the hands a couple of inches out. Elbows should be a few inches in front of the shoulders. Forearms are flat. Open the chest by pulling the elbows towards the hips. Long neck here. Gazing down at the ground. And exhale, release the spine to neutral. Press up and find a comfortable seated position. I'd like to chat a little bit about the term vinyasa before we start flowing. You've probably heard this term being used in reference to a sequence of poses, typically referring to chaturanga, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. A vinyasa is any movement connected to a breath with a drishti. So technically, every pose we do in this class today is a vinyasa in and of itself. In an effort to decolonize our yoga practice and be mindful about the effects of cultural appropriation, we will not be referring to this sequence of poses as a vinyasa, but rather call each pose out by its respective name. There are many different variations that you can take of this sequence of poses, but for the purpose of this class, we'll focus on two. Both will start in a high plank. To find high plank, come back to tabletop. Walk the hands a couple of inches forward. Tuck the toes and lift the knees. Pressing down evenly into all 10 fingers, trying to take the weight out of the wrists. Spread the shoulder blades wide. Suck the navel in. One long line from the crown of the head to the heels. Lean forward into high plank. For the first variation, we'll drop the knees to take Ashtanga Namaskara, also known as knees, chest, and chin pose. Looking forward, the pelvis will start in a tucked position. When we drop down, we are only dropping the chest and chin, so the butt will stay high and turn into an anterior tilt about halfway down. That's okay, that's what we want. Starting in a tucked position, look forward. Begin bending the elbows, hugging them into the ribcage, leading with the chin and chest. Here's that tilt we're talking about. Dropping it down. Butt stays high, toes stay tucked. On an inhale, untuck the toes, let the thighs slide back, pressing into the tops of the feet and the palms, leading with the chin and chest, coming forward, creating a long spine, before coming up and back, gazing up into Cobra Pose, Bhujangasana. Exhale, release the spine to neutral, tuck the toes, press back through all fours, send the hips up and back into Downward Facing Dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Index fingers are parallel, Biceps shining toward the top of the mat. Spreading the shoulder blades wide as to not dump into the armpits. Feel free to keep a micro bend or even a larger bend in the knees. I like to paddle the feet out at the beginning of class, warming up the hamstrings. For our second variation, roll into high plank. We'll drop down halfway for Chaturanga Dandasana, also known as four-limb staff pose, creating a 90-degree bend at the elbows. Leaning forward onto the tiptoes, one long line from the crown of the head to the heels, lower halfway down. Inhale, press back through the feet, extending the arms, but keeping a micro bend in the elbows. Legs are active, lifted from the mat, pulling the chest through the shoulders, gazing up for upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, activate the core, begin to lift the hips up and back, flipping over the toes once more into our downward facing dog. Navel is sucking in, activating Uddiyana Bandha. Gaze can be at the feet, the thighs, or the navel. Personally, I will start out class using the first variation and then transition into the second one later on, but feel free to use either. Look forward and begin slowly walking the feet towards the top of the mat, inch by inch, keeping the legs as straight as possible. Feet come to hips width distance. Create a generous bend in the knees, resting the torso over the thighs. Arms hang heavy here. Release the neck for our ragdoll pose. Staying here or grabbing hold of opposite elbows, maybe even swaying from side to side. Really nice stretch here through the entire back side of the body. If you're holding the elbows, release them down to the mat and slowly roll all the way up to standing, inch by inch. Nice and slow here. Coming all the way into mountain pose, Tadasana. Grounding down evenly through all four corners of the feet. You should be able to lift the toes from the mat. Arms by your side, palms and chest shining to the front of the room. Draw the shoulders up, back, and down away from the ears. One long line from the heels to the crown of the head. And we'll start flowing with 2 rounds of Surya Namaskar A, Sun Salutation A. Inhale, arms rise up, gazing at the thumbs. Exhale, hinging forward at the waist, forward fold. This is a nice spot to use some blocks if you'd like. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant the palms, step it back into high plank. Inhaling here to prepare. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, untuck the toes, pressing up into cobra. Exhale, release the spine to neutral, tuck the toes. Press back through tabletop into downward facing dog. We're here for 5. Rolling the biceps to the top of the mat. Spreading the shoulder blades wide. Sucking the navel in. Maybe paddling out the feet to warm up the hamstrings. Steady gaze here. Inhale, last one. Exhale, look forward, bend the knees. Inhale, step to the top of the mat, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, press to rise. Arms go up overhead, gazing at the thumbs. Exhale, arms by your side, Samastiti. Inhale, arms rise up, gazing at the thumbs. Exhale, hinging forward at the waist, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant the palms, step it back. Inhaling here in high plank. Exhale, Ashtanga Namaskar. Inhale, pressing into Cobra. Exhale, release the spine. Downward facing dog. We're here for 5. 1. 2. 3. 4. Inhale, last one. Exhale, look forward, bend the knees. Inhale, step to the top, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, press to rise, gazing at the thumbs. Exhale, Samasthiti, arms by your side. Taking a couple of breaths here before moving on. Moving into Surya Namaskar B, Sun Salutation B. Big toes together, heels apart by a couple of inches. Inhale, bend the knees, arms go up overhead, gazing at the thumbs for chair pose, Utkatasana. Draw the shoulders down away from the ears. Tuck the tailbone, protecting the low back. Bend a little bit lower, weight is in the heels. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, step it back. Inhaling here. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhaling into Cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. On the inhale, right foot steps forward. Left foot comes down to a 45-degree angle. Feet are on parallel lines. Arms go up overhead, gazing at the thumbs for Warrior 1, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, release the palms down, step it back. Inhaling here. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale to Cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. On the next inhale, step it through with the left foot. Warrior 1 on the second side. Hips are squared to the top of the mat. Exhale, plant the palms, step it back. Inhale here. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale to Cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. We're here for 5. We'll take these 5 in silence. Inhale, last one. Exhale, look forward, bend the knees. Inhale, step to the top, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Big toes together, heels apart. Inhale, bend the knees. Arms go up, chair pose. Exhale, Samasthiti. One more round. Inhale, bend the knees. Arms go up, Utkatasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step it back. Inhaling here. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhaling, Cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right foot steps it through. Inhale, Warrior 1, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, plant the palms, step it back. Inhaling in high plank. Exhale, drop it down, knees, chest, chin. Inhaling into Cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left foot steps it through. Inhale, Warrior one, second side. Exhale, plant the palms, step it back. Inhale. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale to cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. You know the drill, we're here for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhaling, last one. Exhale, look forward, bend the knees. Inhale, step to the top, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Big toes together, heels apart. Inhale, bend the knees, arms go up, chair pose. Exhale, Samasthiti. Arms by your side. Let's take a moment here to slow the breath back down. Starting to feel pretty warm now, right? Moving into Surya Namaskar C, Sun Salutation C. We will start holding each pose for 3 breaths. Inhale, bend the knees, arms go up, Utkatasana, chair pose. Draw the shoulders down away from the ears. Weight is in the heels, toes should be lifted from the mat maybe. And as you exhale, keep the legs as they are, bring your hands to heart center. Interlace the fingers and extend the arms out. For half chair, Ardha Utkatasana. Bringing the torso parallel to the mat. Bend a little bit lower. And exhale, release the hands down for crow pose, Bakasana. Plant the hands firmly into the ground. Send the knees into the armpits. Elbows are bent. Inhale here to prepare. On the exhale, lean forward and lift off. Drawing the knees in towards each other, lifting the butt up high. Focus on your drishti. Prepare to step it back into high plank. Exhale, step it back. Inhaling here. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale to cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot steps it through for warrior one. Virabhadrasana one. Gazing at the thumbs. Pull the hands up, pulling out of the low back. Exhale, open the arms to a T. Torso opens to the left side of the mat. Find heel to heel alignment. For warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. Lunging forward into the right leg, pushing the right knee open. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. Gazing over the fingertips. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Shorten the stance a few inches. And begin to lean forward at the waist. Bringing the right hand to the inside of the right calf. Grabbing hold of the big toe with peace fingers. Or this is a really nice spot to use a block. Coming into triangle pose, Trikonasana. Drawing the left shoulder back, opening the chest. Shoulders are stacked. Gazing up at the fingertips. Exhale, release the left hand to the block, right hand to right hip. Open the feet up to parallel lines. Square the hips to the top of the mat. Inhale here, lengthening the spine. Exhale, twist right. Sending the right arm up for revolved triangle. Parivarta Trikonasana. The hips will want to spill out to the right. Keep squaring them off to the top of the mat. The only thing that's moving is the torso up. Exhale, release the right hand down to the inside or outside of the right foot. Step the left foot back. Left arm goes up overhead, bicep along the ear for extended side angle.
Utthita Parshvakonasana. Keeping the back leg active, grounding down through the outer edge of the left foot. One long line from the left heel to the left fingertips. Exhale, release the hand down. Square the hips to the top of the mat. Coming onto the ball of the left foot. Press to rise. Arms go up overhead. Gazing at the thumbs for crescent lunge. Anjaneyasana. Pull out of the low back. Stretching into the front left hip flexor here. Draw the shoulders down away from the ears. And exhale, bring your hands to heart center and twist right, hooking the left elbow to the right knee. Staying here in revolved lunge or dropping the left heel down, hooking the left shoulder to the right knee. Right arm goes up overhead for revolved side angle. Parivarta Parshvakonasana. Really deep twist here. Keep breathing. Keep grounding down through the back foot. Exhale, release the hands down, stepping back into high plank. Inhale here. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale to cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Coming into dolphin pose, Ardha Pincha Mayurasana. Inhale, drop the knees down. Exhale, release the forearms down as well. Checking the distance of the forearms, you can reach for opposite elbows. You should be able to grab them. Toes are tucked. Inhale here to prepare. On the exhale, send the hips up and back as you would in downward facing dog. Pushing the chest towards the thighs. Creating space for the head by pushing into the mat with the forearms. Staying here or walking the feet towards the elbows, sending the hips over the shoulders for a challenge. We're here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Get ready to press into high plank. 1, pressing into high plank. Inhale here. Exhale. Knees, chest, chin. Inhale to cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. We'll take the same flow on the left side. Inhale, left foot steps through. Warrior 1, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, open the arms to a T. Find heel to heel alignment for Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Keep pushing the left knee open, gazing over the fingertips. Inhale, straighten the front leg, shorten the stance a few inches, lean forward at the waist. Coming into triangle pose, Trikonasana. Drawing the right shoulder back, opening the chest. And exhale, release the right hand to the block, left hand to left hip. Open the feet up to parallel lines. Inhale here to lengthen. Exhale, twisting from the torso up into revolved triangle. Parivarta Trikonasana. Keep the hips squared off. Gazing at the fingertips. Exhale, release the left hand down to the inside or outside of the left foot. Right foot steps it back. Right arm goes up overhead, bicep along the ear for extended side angle. Utthita Parshvakonasana. Exhale, release the hands down to the mat. Square the hips to the top, coming onto the ball of the right foot. Press to rise for crescent lunge. Anjaneyasana. Keep pulling up out of the low back. Exhale, bring your hands down to heart center. Twist left, hooking the right elbow to the left knee. Staying here in revolved lunge. or dropping the right foot down, hooking the right shoulder to the left knee, left arm goes up overhead, revolve side angle, Parivarta Parsvakonasana. Keep breathing here. Exhale, release the hands down, step into high plank. Inhaling here. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale to cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. We'll take dolphin pose one more time. Inhale, dropping the knees down. Exhale, release the forearms. Inhale here to prepare. Exhale, send the hips up and back. We're here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Getting ready to press into high plank. That's 1, press into high plank. Inhaling here. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale to cobra. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Let's take a few breaths here. Steadying the breath, slow it back down. And let's shorten the stance of the down dog, walking the hands in a couple of inches. Begin to come forward on the tippy toes, bending into the elbows. Inhale here. On the exhale, push as hard as you can into the floor, allowing your hands to slide back towards the feet. Feet are hips width distance, hinging forward at the waist. Long spine here. Grabbing hold of the toes with peace fingers. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale. Fold it down for big toe pose, Padangusthasana. Micro bend in the knees, drawing the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale to lengthen, halfway lift. Exhale, place the palms underneath the feet, toes come to the wrists. Inhale here to lengthen. Exhale, fold it down for gorilla pose, Padahastasana. As always, a micro bend in the knees is encouraged. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale to lengthen, halfway lift. Exhale, release the hands to your waist. Inhale, rising up. Exhale. Let's play around with our balance a little bit here. Inhale, sweeping the arms up overhead, rising on to the balls of the feet. Exhale, slowly release it down. We'll do this again. Inhale, sweeping the arms up, rising onto the tiptoes. And exhale, lowering it back down. This time, inhale, sweeping the arms up overhead, rising onto the tiptoes. And we'll draw the right knee to a 90-degree angle and step it down in front of us. We will do this all the way to the top of the mat, alternating legs. It's okay if it's shaky. It's all part of the practice. And we should end with the opposite foot. Coming back down. Bring the hands to your waist and inhale, step out to the right, setting up for wide-legged forward fold, Prasarita Padottanasana. Toes can be pointed inward a little bit. Inhale, gazing up. Exhale, release the hands down to the mat, in line with the feet. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold it down. Weight is in the toes. Eventually, bringing the crown of the head in line with the hands and feet. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hold. Inhale, rising up, hands to waist. Exhale.
B, inhale, arms to a T. Exhale, hands to waist. Inhale, gazing up, reaching the elbows to the back of the room, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Exhale, fold it down. Reaching the crown of the head to the mat. Keep squeezing the shoulder blades together. Elbows point to the back of the room. Inhale, slowly rising all the way up. Exhale. C, arms come to a T. Inhale. Exhale, interlace the fingers behind the back. Inhale, extend the arms, opening the chest, gazing up. Exhale, forward fold. Bringing the crown of the head toward the mat. Allow gravity to push the knuckles closer to the floor. Inhale, slowly rising all the way up. Exhale, hands to waist. D, inhale, gazing up. Exhale, release the hands, grabbing hold of the big toes. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold it down, bending the elbows. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hold here. Inhale, hands to waist, rising all the way up. Exhale. Release the hands down to the mat, widening the stance as much as you can. Stretching for our middle split, Samakonasana. If the full expression of this pose is in your practice, feel free to take that when you're ready, or stay here with me, getting a nice stretch into the inside of the legs. Staying up on the hands, or maybe dropping down to the forearms. If you're on the forearms, press back up to your palms. And let's shorten the stance a bit. Coming over towards the right foot, left knee drops down. Extend the right leg for our half split, Ardha Hanumanasana. Micro bend in the right knee, foot is flexed, toes are pulling towards your face. And staying here, or finding some movement between our half split and low lunge. Wherever you are, find low lunge. Let's come back through center, spinning towards the left foot, right knee drops down, left leg extends for half split on the second side. Micro bend in the knee, foot is flexed. Staying here, or moving between our half split and our low lunge. Wherever you are, find low lunge and come back through center. Shortening the stance for a deep squat, coming into Malasana, also known as the yogi squat. Palms are together at your heart center, elbows on the inner thighs. Inhale here, lengthening the spine. And as you exhale, activate the elbows, pressing into the thighs, opening the hips. Keep a long spine here, deep stretch into the hips. Exhale, release down to your seat. Extending the right leg out, left leg is bent. Grabbing hold of the left ankle with the right hand. Inhale, left arm goes up to lengthen. Exhale, bend over the right leg.
Getting a nice side body and hamstring stretch here. Reaching the left fingertips to the right toes. Keep drawing the left shoulder back, opening the chest. Inhale, rising up. Switching sides, extending the left leg. Grabbing hold of the right ankle with the left hand. Inhale, right arm goes up to lengthen. Exhale, bending over. Reaching the right fingertips to the left toes. Opening the chest. Inhale, rising all the way up. Extending both legs out for our seated wide-legged forward fold, Upavishta Konasana. Knees and feet are facing up to the sky. Maybe we stay here, or maybe we walk down, releasing the forearms to the ground. This is also a really nice spot to grab some blocks and rest the forehead on the blocks. Wherever you are, coming back to center. Legs stay as they are, and we'll frame the right thigh with the blocks, placing our hands on the blocks, leaning over the right leg, bending the elbows. Inhale here, preparing. And on the exhale, activate the core, contract all muscles of the perineum, and lift the hips up off the mat for our Mula Bandha checkups. We're here for 3, 2, 1, slowly lower back down, switching sides, framing the left thigh with blocks, leaning over the left leg. Inhale here to prepare. Exhale, send the hips up. For 3, 2, 1, slowly lowering back down. Move the blocks out of the way, swinging the legs to the back of the mat, finding our downward facing dog. Feel free to stay here in down dog or come forward into high plank to take a flow. Inhale here. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale to cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step to the top of the mat, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, press to rise, arms go up. Exhale, Samasthiti, arms by your side. Coming into extended hand to big toe pose, Utthita Hasta Panagasthasana. A, left hand to left hip, draw the right knee into the torso. Staying here, or grabbing hold of the big toe with peace fingers. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, extend the leg out. Knee can be bent to any degree. We're focusing on balancing here. For 3, 2, 1. B, exhale, opening the hip, right foot goes to the right side of the room, gazing over the left shoulder. We're here for 3, 2, 1. Bring the leg back center, both hands to the hips for C, pointing the foot, holding the leg high for 3, 2, 1, bend the knee, grab hold of the right ankle, placing it over the left thigh in a figure 4 position, or bringing the right foot up to the left hip crease. Sole of the foot faces the sky, knee points down. For a half bound lotus forward fold, Ardha Baddha Padottanasana, folding down, grabbing hold of blocks, staying here, or reaching the right hand around the back, grabbing hold of the foot for a bind. We're here for 3 breaths. Steady gaze. Inhale to lengthen, halfway lift. Exhale, hold here. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, release. Second side, right hand to right hip, drawing the left knee into the torso for A. Grabbing hold of the big toe if you'd like, and extending the leg out. We're here for 3, 2, 1. B, exhale. Left foot goes to the left side of the room, opening the hip, gazing over the right shoulder for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, C. Bring the leg back center, point the toes, both hands to the hips. Holding it high here for 3, 2, 1. Bend the knee, grab hold of the right foot, placing the right ankle over the left thigh for figure 4. Or drawing the left foot into the right hip crease. Knee faces down, sole of the foot facing up for a half bound lotus forward fold. Folding down, grabbing hold of blocks, staying here, or reaching the left hand around for a bind. Focus on your drishti. Inhale to lengthen, halfway lift. Exhale, hold here. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, release. Inhale, arms rise up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to lengthen, halfway lift. Exhale, I'll be transitioning into chaturanga now. We'll step back the first time into high plank. Inhaling here. Exhale, drop it down halfway. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing. Let's play with jumping through the arms a little bit here. Widening the hands to the outer edges of the mat. Draw the right knee into the chest and place the right foot down behind the left wrist. Doing the same thing with the left leg, draw the knee in, place the left foot down behind the right wrist. See if you can shift your weight into the hands, allowing the hips to swing through, coming to seated. Extend the legs out in front of you, coming into staff pose, Dandasana. Feet are flexed, hands are down by the waist, pressing down into the ground, gazing off the tip of the nose, one long line from the pelvic floor to the crown of the head, pulling the toes towards you. The heels may lift off of the mat. And exhale, release, leaning forward, shimmy the butt back. Coming into our seated forward fold, Paschimottanasana. Grabbing hold of the feet, or even placing them down on the mat. Inhale here to lengthen. Exhale, fold over the legs. Micro bend as always in the knees. And keep as long of a spine as you can here. It's more important to be up here with a long spine than it is to be all the way down here and rounded. Gazing at the toes. Inhale to lengthen, halfway lift. Exhale, release the hands a few inches behind the hips, pointing the toes, bending the elbows. Inhale here to prepare. Exhale, send the hips up, planting the soles of the feet down for reverse plank, Purvottanasana. Keep lifting the hips up, opening the chest, pressing down through the big toes, gazing up at the sky, or releasing the neck back. Exhale, slowly lower down. Draw the knees into the chest, crossing the ankles, leaning forward, planting the hands down, and stepping or jumping back. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing, and exhale to downward facing. Let's jump through again. We'll take it slow, drawing the opposite knee in this time first. Left knee comes in, placing the left foot behind the right wrist, drawing the right knee in, right foot behind the left wrist. See if you can shift the weight into the hands, swinging down to your seat. Left leg extends. Sole of the right foot comes to the inside of the left thigh. Hips are square to the top of the mat. For Janu Shirshasana A, head to knee pose. Inhale, arms go up overhead, lengthening. Exhale, reach forward for the foot, or placing the hands on the mat. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, fold. Gazing at the toes. Keep pressing down through the right hip and right knee. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Bringing the sole of the right foot to the ground. About a hand's width distance between the left thigh and the right foot. Coming into Marichyasana A, begin to lean forward over the left leg. Walking the hands forward, and then hooking the right tricep to the right shin. Maybe we stay here, or see if you can reach around the back for a bind. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, fold over the leg. Left foot is flexed. It's okay if the right side of the seat lifts from the mat. Keep pushing down through the right foot. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Right fingertips come behind you. Left arm goes up. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, begin to twist right, hooking the left elbow to the right knee, gazing back over the right shoulder. On each inhale, see if you can lengthen the spine, and each exhale, see if you can twist a little bit more. Left leg stays active, foot is flexed. Exhale, looking forward, and release. Switching sides, right leg extends, left foot comes to the inside of the right thigh. Hips are square to the top of the mat. Inhale, arms go up overhead to lengthen. Exhale, reach the hands down to the mat or grabbing hold of the foot. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, fold over the leg. Keep pushing down through the left hip and left knee, gazing at the toes, eventually bringing the chin to the knee. Inhale to lengthen halfway. Exhale, release. Sole of the left foot comes down to the mat for Marichyasana A. Leaning forward over the right leg, walking the hands up forward. Hooking the left tricep to the left shin. Staying here, or reaching around for a bind. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, fold it down. Gazing at the toes. Keep pushing down through the left foot. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Left fingertips come behind you, right arm goes up. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, twist. Hooking the right elbow onto the left knee. Lengthening on every inhale and twisting a little deeper on each exhale. If it becomes difficult to breathe, you've twisted too far, please come back. Exhale, look forward, and release. Drawing the legs into the torso, crossing the ankles, leaning forward, planting the palms. Jumper step back. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing. Exhale to downward facing. Let's jump through again. Feel free to take it slow one more time, or see if you can jump through in one swift motion. It's okay if the feet drag on the mat, mind you, all the time. Knees are bent. Grab the backs of the thighs. Become aware of the sit bones. Inhale, lengthening the spine, activating the core. As you exhale, begin to roll back on the sacrum, allowing the feet to float off of the mat, drawing the knees to a 90-degree angle for our boat pose, Navasana. Keeping the hands here, or extending the arms out, palms facing up. Avoid rounding the low back, keep a long spine. Strong core here. 3, 2, 1. Extend the legs and slowly lower all the way down to the back. Bending the knees, you should be able to tickle the heels with the fingertips. Setting up for bridge pose, Setu Bandha Sarvangasana. Tuck the tailbone so the low back is flat on the mat. Shrug the shoulders away from the ears. Palms are facing up. Inhale here. Exhale, curl the tailbone up, lifting the hips, low back, and mid back off of the mat. The knees might want to spill out here. Keep hugging the thighs into each other, pressing into the big toes. See if you can lift a little bit higher. And exhale, slowly lower all the way back down. Coming into reclined figure 4 pose, Supta Ekta Pada Utkatanasana, crossing the right ankle over the left thigh, pressing the right knee open. Staying here, or draw the left knee into the chest, holding on to the thigh or the shin. Keep pressing the right knee open. Right foot stays flexed, protecting the right knee. And exhale, switching sides, crossing the left ankle over the right thigh, pushing the knee open, staying here, or drawing the right knee into the chest. Left foot is flexed, protecting the left knee. Really nice stretch into the IT bands here. And exhale, release. Grab the backs of the thighs, roll back up, crossing the ankles, pulling the knees into the chest, plant the palms down, step or jump back. Exhale to chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Roll forward into high plank and slowly lower all the way down to the belly. Coming into our locust pose, Shalabhasana. Arms are down by your side, palms facing up. Gently rest the chin on the mat. Bringing the big toes together. Inhale here. As you exhale, activate all of the back muscles, lifting the legs and the chest off of the mat, lengthening and then lifting up, squeezing the glutes. See if you can reach any higher, gazing off the tip of the nose. And exhale, release it down, bending the knees, grab hold of the ankles or the outside of the feet. Inhale here. As you exhale, push the shins toward the back of the mat, coming into bow pose, Dhanurasana. Opening the chest, squeezing the thighs together. Back muscles are activated here. See if you can lift any higher. And exhale, slowly lower down, planting the palms into the mat, sending the hips back towards the heels, big toes together, knees as far apart as you'd like. Release the forehead down to the mat. Coming into child's pose, Balasana. Coming back up on the knees, toes are tucked. Place the hands on the low back, fingers facing down. Begin to lean forward into the hips and gaze up. Staying here, we want to create a long spine, lifting up before coming back. Reach back for the heels if you'd like, pushing into the hips, opening the chest, gazing up at the sky, or release the neck back. Coming out the same way we went in, activate the core, lifting up, placing the hands down on the mat, tucking the chin, rounding the spine into cat pose, Vajrayasana. Nice stretch to counterbalance that back bend. Walk the hands forward a few inches, tuck the toes, press back into downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right leg up, bending the right knee, drawing it into the chest. Release the right shin down to the mat, parallel to the top edge. Left knee drops down as well. Keep pulling the right hip back and left hip forward for a half pigeon pose, Ardha Kapotasana. Staying up here or releasing down to the forearms. If there's any pain in the left knee, feel free to tuck the left toes and lift out of the knee a bit. That'll help there. Keep pulling the left hip forward. If you're on the forearms, press back up. Lean onto the right hip, allowing the left leg to swing around to the front. Stacking the left knee over the right knee. Feet come towards opposite ends of the seat. Into cow face pose, Gomukhasana. Big stretch into the hips here. There's also an arm variation we can take, but we'll just focus on the legs today. Staying up here or resting the torso over the legs, coming down onto the forearms. Release the neck. Pressing back up, finding downward facing dog. We'll do the same thing on the left side. Inhale, left leg rises, bending the left knee, drawing it into the chest. Drop the left shin down parallel to the top edge of the mat. Right knee comes down as well. Pulling the right hip forward, and the left hip back. Maybe staying up here, or dropping down to the forearms. Half pigeon pose. Keep drawing the left hip back, pulling the right hip forward. If you're on the forearms, press back up, leaning onto the left hip, swinging the right leg around to the front, stacking the right knee over the left, pulling the feet in towards opposite ends of the seat. Staying up here, Gomukhasana, or resting the torso over the legs, dropping down to the forearms. Really deep stretch into the hips here. If you're on the forearms, press back up, finding downward facing dog. Staying here or taking a flow. This will be our last one. Inhale into high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. Then exhale, downward facing dog. Let's jump through one last time. Lowering all the way down to our backs. Knees are bent. And extend the legs up over the hips for waterfall pose. Maybe we stay here. Or reach the feet towards the head, lifting the hips off of the mat, placing the hands on the low back, shimmy the shoulders, helping to lift the body up. Stacking the hips over the shoulders and the feet over the hips for our shoulder stand. Salamba Sarvakasana. One long line here. Use the hands to support you, making sure not to twist the neck in either direction, gazing at the toes. Exhale, drop the feet behind the head, tucking the toes on the floor into plow pose, Halasana. Staying here with the hands on the low back or interlacing the fingers and extending the arms down. Really deep stretch through the entire backside of the body here. Keep breathing. Stacking the hips over the shoulders. And if the fingers are interlaced, release the hands, palms pressing down on the floor, and slowly lower back down, vertebrae by vertebrae. Soles of the feet come down to the mat. Knees are bent, falling in towards each other. Let's take a moment here. Grabbing the backs of the thighs, rocking up to a comfortable seated position. Practicing lotus pose, Padmasana. Bring the right foot into the left foot into the right hip crease. Sole of the foot is facing up. And here we find ourselves in half lotus, Ardha Padmasana. Maybe we stay here, or we draw the right foot into the left hip crease. Sole of the right foot is facing up to the sky, into our full lotus. If there is any pain in the knees here, please come out. It should not be painful. One long line from the pelvic floor to the crown of the head. Shoulders are down away from the ears, gazing off the tip of the nose. I like to have my palms facing up, open to whatever the universe has to offer me. But if you feel you need grounding in your life right now, place the palms down. Exhale, place the hands by the hips on the floor and draw the legs into the torso. Coming into scale pose, Talasana. As we lean forward, we'll lift the hips off of the mat, shifting the weight into the hands and hanging there. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, lean forward, shifting the weight into the hands, lift the hips. It's okay if not everything lifts, that's fine. Holding here for 3. See if you can get a little bit higher. 2, 1, slowly release down. Releasing the legs from wherever they are. Coming into our final resting pose, Shavasana. Lying down on the back, legs extend out, palms facing up to the sky. Shrug the shoulders away from the ears. Allow yourself to get comfortable here. Observing the effects that this practice has had on your body, on your mind. Allowing the breath to come back to its natural rhythm. Keeping the eyes closed, begin to wake the body back up. Wiggling the fingers and the toes. Reach the arms up overhead for a big stretch. And roll onto the side. Staying here for a moment. Pressing all the way back up. Finding a comfortable seated position. Resting the hands on the knees. Take a moment to come back to the intention that you set at the beginning of class. Were you able to bring yourself back to this intention throughout the flow? And will you decide to carry this intention with you throughout the rest of your day? Slowly flutter the eyes back open. Bringing your hands to heart center. We will close our practice chanting Om Shanti 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 Om 1 time. Inhale, preparing to chant. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Thank you for taking the time to practice with me today. Have a wonderful day.